Hi, this is GunNut226 here with another folding knife review. Today we're looking at the K2 Tengu. That's right, Tengu. Has an interesting name. I bought this offline. I think it was like Amazon or something, and it looked pretty cool when it was online. And I really like the name Tengu. Kind of rings. So I thought, hey, I'll give it a shot and see what happens. Doesn't look like a bad little knife. It is made of a 3CR13 stainless steel. Now, not being a real steel person, not knowing a lot of details about steel, 3CR13, I really don't know a lot about it. They say it's a stainless steel, and it hasn't really given me any problems as far as rust goes. So it does have some rust resistance, although I do live in somewhat of a desert, arid, dry environment. So I can't say that it doesn't have good rust resistance, but I can't say that it really does either. All I can tell you is my experience, and it looks like the blade is pretty clean. No rust on it. So overall, I guess it's okay. If somebody has some more details about it, I can probably look it up, but I didn't really take the time in this instance to go research the 3CR13 stainless steel. So it is a clip point blade. It's a nice little blade, not bad. It's got a good blade shape. No jimping up here. Could probably use some. Get to that maybe a little bit later. The length of this blade, we are looking at about just under maybe 2 3/4 inches or so. So actually a pretty good blade for my EDC, and that's really one of the reasons I bought it, is looking for some really good, decent knives with the blades under 3 inches for the locale that I live in. So that's one of the reasons that I got this guy. We can see here, we look in there, we got some bushings. They are nylon type, which does probably inhibit the deployment slightly. So the speed is not bad. It does take some practice / getting used to. You can see here, maybe we'll go this a little bit in ergonomics, but it's not really the best deployment, and that affects the speed. The lockup strength is good up and down, and side to side there's some play, there's some give, so not terrible. It is a liner lock. You can see here it's got a lot of room to wear, so that's good. It's got a long life ahead of it, I would hope. And the weight. Take a look at the weight. Here's a scale. So we're right about 3.3333 ounces. Not bad for a little EDC blade. I kind of like it. It could be lighter. Now, some of the weight comes in here. We can talk about the handle next. It is an aluminum handle. It's got some really cool little... The design on it's really cool. If we can take a look at it a little bit, you can see their little pyramid type things, and it does give you some decent grip. Actually, it's more of a directional grip. This way it's a little bit slicker. This way it gives you a little more traction. It looks pretty good. They could probably make it better, but the handles are made of aluminum. And there are liners in it, and I'm guessing those liners are made of some kind of, probably the same stainless the 3CR13 that the blade's made out of, or maybe like a 440. But they're not lightweighted, and it's probably going to add a little bit of weight to the knife, and that's probably why it weighs a little bit more than I would think than a 2 3/4 inch blade should weigh. I'd be looking for a weight under 3 ounces for this kind of knife. So they're a little bit over. Missed the mark there a little bit, but overall, not too bad. Now the handle is pretty nice. It is a little small for my hand. I have a good 3-finger grip on it, which is okay for most things. Could use maybe a little bit of jimping up here at the top, because it is kind of slick. But overall, I wouldn't want to be pressing this into an emergency tactical roll by any means. The blade length is a little short. You don't really have enough grip area, and/or doesn't have any kind of guards or anything on it that would prevent your hand from slipping forward up onto the blade. So I couldn't recommend this for that purpose. But overall, it's a nice little EDC blade. The blade is held up actually pretty well. The main place that I use my EDC blades is up near the tip region, as one would expect with an EDC blade. Up in this region is the highest use area, and it's held up pretty well. It's actually held up better than some of the other ones that I've had that are supposed to be 440 stainless. For example, this guy that I just got done reviewing, it's the M-Tech emergency rescue knife, gave me a lot of problems up in the tip area from that 440 stainless that they say it has. But overall, nice. There is a fully adjustable pivot point with a hex. Didn't really see the need to adjust it at all, but the option is there. I probably could have loosened it up maybe just a hair to get a little bit better deployment. And it goes into the ergonomics. Ergonomics I'm not really super pleased with, along with the handle not fitting into my hand real well, being a little slick. The deployment is subpar. You got a little deployment hole. If they could have maybe expanded this hole out a little bit, like some of the spider holes that I've seen stick out from the blade. They did cut some relief in, so they attempted to give you a relief where your thumb would just slide in, and it does to a degree. Maybe if my hands were a little smaller, I would have a better time with it, but I really do have a tough time getting my thumb in there to deploy it effectively. And even on this side, it's even more difficult because the pocket clip also gets in the way. So not super stoked about that. So that's -1 point for these guys. The clip design is pretty ingenious. Have to give them that. It is not like a super low carry, but it's not a super high carry. You can see here that this knife that rides a little higher in the pocket than this guy does, but then again, it's not quite as low in the pocket as say this knife is. But so it does stick out of the pocket just a little bit. But you know, it did really well for me. It held my pants very well. The pocket clip is very strong. It's got a nice little ramp at the end of it, so you can slide it into your pocket pretty easily. So I'm very happy with the pocket clip, even though it is not relocatable whatsoever. So you're stuck with tip down carry. Not my preferred method. I prefer tip up carry. Easier to get out of your pocket and deploy. Maybe even possibly wave if you so choose or so can with the particular knife that you're looking at. But overall, not a bad little knife. Not a bad clip design. I just wish the deployment hole or ramp handle was a little bit better, and I wish it was a little bit lighter. But other than that, I think it's a decent little knife. As far as cost, I think I got this off of Amazon, and I think it goes for $17.99, $18. You might be able to get free shipping on that from Amazon, depending how much you order and whatnot. That's constantly changing. So I think I did actually get free shipping on this guy. But overall, not a bad little knife. Did want to cover one other thing that didn't really concern me. You can see how the knife is kind of like in the middle. It's kind of skewed to one side. It's not really rubbing the liner, but it is still tough to deploy. It is a flow-through design. The inner liners aren't lightweighted, and they're probably some kind of stainless, like I think I said that before. So it does contribute to the weight. But overall, it's a little heavy. Has a smaller blade, but that's okay. I kind of like that for my EDC. So overall, I would say it's a medium value. I wouldn't say it's a high value. I wouldn't say go out and buy a bunch today. But if you want a little knife, a blade under 3 inches for just a little EDC, maybe if your hands are a little bit smaller than mine, it's probably a decent value. So if you have any other questions or comments, please leave them below, or you can PM me. Coming up on my 1,000 sub mark. I'm not sure when I'm going to post this video, so I might be already past it. So anyway, please subscribe if you like my videos. Thanks for watching.